Hi, this is Elizabeth Cermak from Your Highest Light, life coach and angel tarot card reader, here every Friday at 10:30 to talk to you about your favorite topic and mine, spiritual topics, and attracting more beautiful things into your life. So I'm a little late this morning. I went on, surprise, surprise, I'm having problems with Facebook Live. It's telling me I have no internet connection. I have no problem with Instagram Live. So, I do have internet connection because I can get on Instagram Live, but not on Facebook Live. So I have no idea why that is. So I decided to, I'm still on Instagram Live and I decided to tape it for Facebook to put on Facebook later and YouTube later. So that's, I don't know. If anybody can help me with my Facebook Live connection, I would appreciate it because I do have internet. I just can't get on Facebook Live. So anyway, so that's why I'm a little bit late this morning, but I'm still here to talk to you about spiritual topics this morning and attract more beautiful things into your life, which is what I'm here every Friday. So if I'm a little bit late, that's just probably what's going on, some technical difficulties. So I'm so excited today to talk to you about a couple things. I have to admit, I was not ready. I was not completely centered and ready. I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. And last night, something came to me. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about manifestation. And I'm going to tell you how that came to me. So I've had a crazy week. I just got home from, you could still hear my voice is a little bit gone because I've been screaming at Paul McCartney concerts for two days. So I just got home and Paul McCartney just finished his US tour and it was so cool. I got to finish that with a lot of good friends and of course Paul McCartney and the band, and we had a great time. So I'm still kind of coming down from that. The last show was on the same day as the Vegas shootings. It was the same day that Tom Petty died. Just craziness going on. It was like crazy things going on in the world. And that night I was with, I forget how many people. I want to say 18,000, probably more. My husband would know. And we're singing Give Peace a Chance and just surrounded by so much love. So I felt like I was in the perfect place at that moment. So like I said, I'm still kind of coming down from that experience and I'm not ready to totally come down from it yet. So I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And what's so funny is last night, my husband makes me, I shouldn't say makes me, but he does kind of make me watch all these Beatles interviews all the time. Oh, by the way, you can see I have my Motown sweatshirt on. I went to the Motown Museum in Detroit as well, which was so cool. So my husband makes me watch Beatles, all the interviews, all the time. And I'm always interested when they're talking about the Maharishi, of course. George Harrison's my favorite. And so last night I was watching an interview, and this was George Harrison and John Lennon. I'm going to get to the manifestation topic because this has to do with it. This is how I came up with this topic. George Harrison and John Lennon are talking about, they have been practicing transcendental meditation for about 6 weeks now, granted, okay? And they're on this interview, I forget who it is, my husband would know, whoever's interviewing them, asking them about meditation and their studies with the Maharishi. 6 weeks, they've been studying meditation for 6 weeks. That's not a very long time. And the two of them are on there and they're expected to answer all these questions about meditation and religion and all this stuff. And they do so well. They're 24 years old, okay? And what I noticed was George Harrison, a couple times, I think about 3 times in the interview, and I'll write down below what interview it is, but George Harrison, I think it's about 3 times where he uses the word manifestation. And I'm like, okay, this is like 1960, whatever, 1964 or 5, I can't remember. And, manifesting, we use that word a lot in 2017. We use that word manifestation. We talk about manifesting the life of our dreams. I talk about attracting more beautiful things into our lives. I mean, it's huge manifestation right now, right? Especially in the spiritual world. But I was listening closely when he would use that word because I'm like, what is he talking about when he talks about manifestation? And I wrote it down, his quote. This is George Harrison, age 25. He wrote down, "Our ultimate goal is to manifest our divinity in order to become one with our Creator." And so that's George Harrison at age 25, ladies and gentlemen. Our ultimate goal is to manifest our divinity in order to become one with our Creator. So he's not talking about manifesting in the way that we talk about it today. He's not talking about manifesting anything physical. He's talking about manifesting divinity. He's talking about manifesting peace and love. And, granted, at that point in his life, he had manifested a lot of physical things. And so I think all the Beatles at that point, they had manifested money and fame and all this stuff. And they were at a point where they wanted something that was deeper and longer lasting. And they even talk about, drugs and religion and all that kind of stuff. But so at that point they were into something, they wanted something more deeper and longer lasting, and that's why they got into meditation. But so my point is, manifesting physical things in this world, it's not a bad thing. I just think that it's so important that we talk about manifesting the divinity and manifesting peace. I still talk about manifestation because, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing, but we're not going to be happy manifesting. We don't know what's going to make us happy. And so all the physical things in the world that we can manifest if we're not happy, it doesn't matter. We're still not going to be one with God or one with our Creator, as George would say. And I always use the example of and I know I talk about this a lot, but I always use the example of when my husband and I were called on stage with Paul McCartney, that I never in a million years visualized going on stage with him. I didn't think I would be able to handle it. I didn't think it was possible. So I believe that by visualizing, sometimes by trying to manifest and by trying to visualize things, we're actually limiting ourselves. That night when we went to that concert, my prayer was, show me the limitless power of my peace. I wanted to be peaceful and I wanted to have fun, and that was all I wanted. And I wanted to show what that could bring, what the limitless power of my peace was. And God showed me what it was. I did not visualize that. So I think if we can find that oneness, if we can find that divinity in everybody, then we start manifesting things outside of our lives that do make us happy, but we already have that internal happiness, if that makes sense. So I know that, as George and John said last night, I know we're getting a little deep here. They were so funny, but I know that's deep and I know that's a lot, but that's something what I wanted to talk about today was manifesting. So hi everybody. Hi Edgar. Hi Anna. Hi Paul. So nice to see you guys. You can hear me. I'm still so hoarse. So the other thing, what I thought I would do today is, last night when I was thinking about what I should talk about, I thought, well, I'm going to pull past, present, and future. Anna, how are you watching me? I thought you were teaching. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought I would do a past, present, and future card reading. So what I ended up doing was I just kind of concentrated on my viewers. And I always say I have a small audience. It's always bigger than I expect, but it's small. So the readings I believe are pretty accurate. If you had 1,000 people watching, the reading is not going to be as accurate as the small reading, that as a small audience, okay? So I thought that what I would do is concentrate on my audience and just anything that they needed to know. And usually with a reading, if I do a private reading, it's very interactive. And so when you do a group reading like this, it's not, you're kind of limited. It's not as interactive. So I want you guys, what I thought my listeners could do today is just, if this reading, if it resonates with you in any way, and any question that you have, then this is for you. So it can be for multiple people. I watch Radley Valentine all the time in his readings that he does, live and for one person. And it's like, okay, that was for me, or somebody else will say that was for me. So, I do believe that it can be for multiple people. And what I'd like to do is, after I kind of talk about this reading, which I think was pretty cool, I'm going to do another live reading if we have time for that. Okay. So, I did a past, present, and future reading. And I'm going to show you guys the cards. There's a picture of it on Instagram and Facebook. So for the past reading, we got the Lovers. Okay? And I'm going to explain what the cards mean. For the present, we got the Two of Air. And then for the future, we got the Page of Water. Now, Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine's Angel Tarot cards sometimes get a bad rap, I believe. I mean, not ultimately. I think ultimately everybody loves them, but every once in a while I hear people say some negative things about them because Angel Tarot cards, they're so positive and everything, which is true. But you know what? These are tarot cards that are actually based on the original tarot deck. Now I got paused on Instagram. So this does show accurate readings, and it does have some shadow in it. It does have the same type of symbolism stuff that the original tarot deck does, which I will show you in this reading that we had, okay? So just see if this means anything to you. And I'm going to interpret it in a couple different ways. Since it's not a specific question that I'm answering, it could go in a couple different ways. So a lot of times when people say, this was the past card, and it's the Lovers. And a lot of time when people see the Lovers, we think of romantic love, which a lot of time that's what it means. It can mean soulmates. But sometimes it can mean soulmates in a different type of way, like family, soulmates. It could mean friends. I'm waiting for a second because Instagram went off. Okay, so it can mean it can mean different types of ways, and I love the way this card is interpreted, because when you look at the card, you see Archangel Raphael in the background, and you see the man. There's a man and a woman in the card, and the man is focused on the woman, and so the man is focused on the material world, and the woman, she's looking at Archangel Raphael, so she is focused on the spiritual. The man's focused on the material, and the woman's focused on the spiritual. And this is okay. So this is a balance that is on this card. And so a lot of times this could even mean a love that you have for like a career. So that's the two different ways that I want to interpret this deck. I think it could be somebody who had a question about a career, or it could go somebody who had a question about, it definitely looks like a relationship deck, somebody who had a question about a relationship. So it could go either career or relationship. So, if you think about a career versus a job, a career is something that you're passionate about and something that you live for. And so that's what it could mean. This could mean a change in career. Okay. So something that you're more passionate about, something that you really care about instead of just a job. It could also mean that somebody's going to come into your life or somebody came into your life who that you're going to work with, who on a spiritual level that you're spiritually connected. I love what it says in the angel book. It says something about how whatever it is, this person, whether they're in your life for a short time or for a long time, your life will be forever changed. Okay, so that's the past card. So now the present card we have is the Two of Air. And this is one of those shadow cards. It's not necessarily the most positive card you can get. So this is why I'm going to tell you, this angel tarot deck is not always, it's not always just unicorns and rainbows and everything's great. It also shows accuracy in shadow parts, which is life, right? So it talks about, the Two of Air talks about being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, or pretending there's no problem. So what this card is saying is that in the present, somebody who's watching, that you're unable to make a decision, you're unable to move forward. There's something going on in your life where you need to make a decision and stop pretending that there's no problem. A lot of time this might mean that you need to come up with a compromise. It's that just putting it to the bottom of your mind, or that's not helping. That's not making it go away. So it might be an argument too, or you might be having a disagreement. This could be a disagreement with a lover, like I said in the first card, with somebody you're having a relationship with a friend, with a boss. If we're talking career-wise, it could mean that you're having, that you're on a stalemate. It basically means you're kind of stuck here. We need to make a decision in order to move forward. And once you do that, the card that we get, this is what makes it really look like a relationship reading. And a lot of times people will ask a career question, for instance, and all the cards will come out and it will be about a relationship. Obviously, it's about a relationship. So, and that might mean that the true question that's on your heart is a relationship, not about your career. So that might mean that you need to take care of the relationship first. Okay. So the third card, which is a future card, if we move forward and make that decision that we're procrastinating, the future card is the Page of Water. Okay, so I'm going to show it on both screens here. And this says, a new person enters your life, a relationship begins a new phase, and heightened psychic abilities. So what this is telling me altogether is that once you make that decision, that your relationship is going to be heightened, your job, if we're going to analyze it as a career, that your career is going to go to new heights too. So it's very cool. In this card, they have a mermaid up above all the choppy waters. And they talk about her holding this light where she's searching for her true love. Isn't that beautiful? So that is our past, present, and future reading I just did last night, and I thought somebody needs to hear this, okay? So I put it out there for you guys. There's something else I was going to say and I forgot what it was. Okay, so I think that's okay. Well, I'll remember it later. So I think what we'll do is we are going to do one more. We're at about 15 minutes, so let's keep going. We're going to do one more. I'm going to put these back in the deck and shuffle it up. And we're going to do one more past, present, and future reading live right now. Okay. Well, it's live on Instagram at least. Love you guys. And I want you guys to think about a question. So anybody who's watching, and this could be afterwards, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's now. There's, A Course in Miracles says, time and space is under my control. So, time and space is an illusion, right? So it doesn't matter if it's now or if you're watching it now or you're watching it later. Think about a question that you have. And if the answer to the question speaks to you, then it does. Then pay attention. And that's what I was going to say. The reason why I started pulling more cards than just one is because when you pull more cards than one card, it really tells a story. And when you pull just one card, sometimes it's not as accurate. So you want to see what the cards are around it. Okay? Alrighty. So I'm going to concentrate on what any of my viewers need to know. And the first card is going to be for the past. When you can see that story all together, the past, present, and future, it really kind of makes sense. The first card's going to be for the past. Oops, this pops right up. Okay, then the second card is going to be for the present. Anything that my viewers need to know for the present. And the last card is going to be, and I can't see the cards, the last card is going to be for the future. Okay, so, so we got 2 major arcana cards, which is pretty strong. So who's ever watching this, the first card is release, Archangel Azrael. Okay, and that's a major arcana card. So this means major arcana means it's a bigger life issue that's going on. So whoever asks, think about whatever question you had in your mind. And this says that in the past, we have had the end of a phase or a situation. So it talks about time to move on. It's kind of has to do with our last reading too, like when we were at a stalemate. So this is saying that in the past, we've had a situation kind of end, maybe a phase in our life end, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a career, something like that has ended and it's in the past. And so it's time to release and let go, which is kind of good. Which is kind of good that it's in the past, okay? So our present card, sorry, I have to fix Instagram here. Our card that's for the present is the King of Water. Okay, the King of Water. This is actually a very positive card. This says to open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. So the King of Water, this could be a person that's entering into your life that is very trustworthy. Or it could be you, or it could be a phase of life that you're entering. So it's a person or phase of life that you're entering that's very trustworthy, that you need to open your mind and you open your heart to those around you. Okay, in the present. In the future, we have balance, which I think is perfect for balance, which is Archangel Zadkiel, which I think is perfect for the month of October. Because if you guys, the Shamanic Power Path update came out, and it's October is all about balance. So it says for the future, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, and wait for perfect timing. So I think this is perfect for the month of October, is that it's all about balance. And so we need to make sure that we're doing whatever we need to do in our lives to stay in balance, whether that's, eating healthier, whether that's just kind of spending some time alone in meditation, whatever you need to do to keep yourself in balance and moderation. So that's what we need for the future. Okay. So I think this reading is very accurate again, especially for this month. We talk about the past, we're releasing a situation from the past. So whatever it is, think about whatever question you asked and think about releasing whatever it is that you had to release in the past. Think about in the present, just being open to trustworthy people, to people who are going to come into your lives, who have all good intentions, and make sure that you open your heart to those people. And then in the future, I want you to think about what you need to do to balance your life. Okay, especially and this is just telling me that it's for this month, that things are going to calm down a little bit, and that we're going to look at for balance this month. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card because I feel like it's not quite done. Okay, so happy to see all of you guys. Okay, one more card to end with. I feel like we're not quite. Okay, so 3 of Fire. So this card means abundance. I love this card because it's the little girl and the dragon and they're friends and they grow up together, as you can see in later cards. So this is the 3 of Fire. This is abundance. Things look very good. Have patience and make long-term plans. So I think I think the overall theme of this spread talks a lot about patience. That that things are going to be okay, that we need to make long-term plans, that there's going to be abundance in our future. A lot people don't want to hear that all the time. That's why I'm laughing, because patience, I don't want to hear that either. But if we are able to find balance this month, and we're patient, that it does look like abundance and good things are coming. So we talked about manifesting earlier, and manifesting the divinity within us. So that looks good. Okay. So it's been so nice to see everybody. I'm sorry Facebook Live that I wasn't able to do it today. But that's okay. Hopefully next week, hopefully somebody might be able to help me with that and figure out why it's not working when I do have internet connection. I love you guys all. Prudence is here. I have to show you guys Prudence, of course. So we love you and hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you next Friday at 10:30. Okay. Peace and love. Bye.